All right, we've got the business quote of the day. Come, get up and make them. This is according to Madam CJ Walker. She's the first female self-made millionaire. And if you know you have something to give the world, then even if you just think that you do, get to work. Chances are that nobody else is going to hand you exactly what you want. So try as much as you can to not wait for the opportunities to come. Get up and make them.
Okay, away from the business quote for today, now let's talk about some of the headlines making the rounds across several business world right here. And of course, let's talk about the inflation biting. Stable sachet water producers shut down in Enugu. Inflation bites as stable sachet water producers shut down in Enugu. The Association of Table Water Producers, known as ATWAP, in Enugu State has announced a temporary shutdown of water producing factories due to the high cost of production, and the decision was made following an emergency meeting on the 8th of February 2024, where the challenges confronting the association's member were extensively discussed. And part of what was discussed was the harsh economic situation in the country. And after hours of deliberation, they've decided that they are going to have over 500% increase in the prices of their product. This is because currently there's over 500% increase in the price of raw materials and other factors of production. That is what is happening in Enugu State.
All right, moving on to another headline. 48% customs duty hike seen pushing up production costs. 48% customs duty hike seen pushing up production costs. Now, the recent 48.5% hike in customs duty by the Central Bank of Nigeria through the upward adjustment of the exchange rate for calculating import duties is expected to push up the production cost for manufacturers that import critical production inputs. Now, this development also comes with policy uncertainty that threatens investor confidence and the nation's investment climate. Frequent policy changes create problems for uncertainty and volatility for investors, and between June 2023 up until now, there have been 6 changes in the customs foreign exchange rate. Muda Yusuf, Chief Executive Officer of the Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprises, said during a television interview. Now, he said that the changes have implications for trade and investment and planning as well. He said the cost of imports is already extremely high in currency devaluation, and if there's any window of opportunity for the government to bring relief within the fiscal policy environment, it is through trade, because it is extremely difficult for citizens that are dealing with a situation of highly depreciated currency and high import duty at the same time. He appealed to the Apex Bank to review the pace at which it adjusts the exchange rate for calculating customs duties to an investment-friendly policy in light of the excruciating cost conditions that the citizens are facing. Now, if you take a look back at June 24th, 2023, customs had adjusted the exchange rate from 422 naira to a dollar to 589 naira to a dollar. As of June 6th, it was adjusted to 770 naira to a dollar. November 14th, it was adjusted as well to 783 naira to a dollar. In December, it was adjusted to 951. February 2nd, it was moved to 1,356. On February 3rd, it was raised once again to 1,413. So if you look at it, it's moving really, really fast. So a former chairman of the Association of Nigeria Licensed Customs Agents at the Seme border, that is Bisiriyu Lasisi Fanu, said many importers would abandon their cargo at the port due to a lack of funds to clear them. He said the frequency at which the CBN was adjusting the exchange rate had become worrisome, attributing it to the rising number of overtime cargo at the ports. CBN can't actually change the rates and expect the importers who have made their calculations on what the landing cost and profit will be based on. This is on the December exchange rate to survive. How do you expect the importer to generate the difference immediately to clear the goods from the port? It's just not possible. We understand that the federal government, through Nigeria Customs, wants to generate revenue, but this is not the way. Simeon, if you look at the numbers, you're looking at within June 24th up until February 3rd, it's changed over 6 times. The rate, the exchange rate for clearing your goods at customs changed over 6 times. This is not. It's not doable for businesses.
I just wonder how business are thriving, especially those in that are doing importation and exportation right now. It's not funny times for them. And also, let's talk about the exchange rate as it affects us, especially at the official market. And exchange rate closes the week at 1,469 naira 96 kobo to a dollar at the official market as demand pressure persists. The naira strengthened against the dollar in the official market to close the week at 1,469 naira 97 kobo to a dollar as the ongoing demand pressure continued to erode the value of the Nigerian currency. And this is notwithstanding the CBN implementation of several policies designed to enhance the supply of forex, and the domestic currency appreciated marginally at the end of the week by 0.71% to close at 1,469.97 kobo to a dollar at the close of business. And data from the NAFEM, where forex is officially traded, showed. And this represents, an about 9.9 naira 5 kobo gain, or at a 0.71% increase in the local currency compared to the 1,479.47 kobo, which it closed on Thursday at the official market. So look at the intraday high recorded. It was about 1,560 naira to a dollar, while the intraday low was 996 naira to a dollar, representing a wide spread of about 564 naira to the dollar. So the naira still not doing so well, as opposed to the dollar in the official markets.
All right, so looking at this particular report from IMF, they're warning Nigeria over the worsening cost of living crisis. The International Monetary Fund has highlighted that Nigeria is grappling with a compounding cost of living crisis worsened by stagnant per capita growth, poverty, and heightened food insecurity. Now outlined in this report titled IMF Executive Board concludes post-financing assessment with Nigeria. The organization underscored the escalating challenges amidst mounting inflation, currency devaluation, sluggish economy expansion, and closures of business. Key points from the report emphasize that deficient revenue collection has impeded the delivery of essential services and public investment. You're looking at, notably, headline inflation surged to 27% year on year in October, with food inflation peaking at 32%. These figures are attributed to the repercussions of fuel subsidy removal, depreciation of the exchange rate, and inadequate agricultural output in the nation. The report read that Nigeria faces a difficult external environment and wide-ranging domestic challenges. External financing, market and official, is scarce, and global food prices have surged, reflecting the repercussions of conflict and geo-economic fragmentation. Per capita growth in Nigeria has stalled, poverty and food security are high, exacerbating the cost of living crisis. Low reserves and very limited fiscal space constrain the authorities' option space. All right. This is what the IMF is saying, that the worsening situation in Nigeria is alarming.
Looking at our economic crisis that Nigerians are currently, trying to handle. Joe Ajero, the NLC president, is also speaking that this might actually push, Nigeria's new minimum wage to about 1 million naira. And of course, according to the president of the NLC, Joe Ajero, he has actually hinted that the new minimum wage proposal can reach as high as 1 million naira per month if inflation and other economic indicators continue to worsen in the country. He made this, statement yesterday while being featured on a television show. And of course, according to him, the new minimum wage must reflect the economic conditions of the country, adding that as long as the dollar keeps rising against the naira, the demand for a higher minimum wage will be inevitable. And of course, the initial 200,000 naira minimum wage proposal that NLC did put forward, according to them, is no longer tenable citing, soaring price of food items, inflationary pressure on the economy right now. 1 million naira minimum wage is what NLC might be pushing for if we keep seeing this happen in our economy.
Is that even possible, Simeon? You're seeing a situation where governors are saying they can't even pay 18,000 naira, the previous minimum wage, right? Even the 30,000 naira, as it were, was a challenge for some of the governors to pay. So 1 million naira, Joe Ajaero, aren't you pushing it?
But quickly, let me just give Joe Ajaero a quick advice on what he is doing. I think he should actually push for what is tenable and what is feasible at the end of the day. Let's even Nigerians not see him as a clown. Seriously, that's my advice to him.
All right, the discos have overbilled 7.1 million customers in 9 months. This statement is accorded to the federal government. This discos overbilled 7.1 million customers in 9 months. Power distribution companies have overbilled about 7.1 million unmetered electricity consumers between January and September 2023. An analysis of the latest monthly number of overbilled customers have shown. In the various regulatory interventions for non-compliance with the order on capping of the estimated billing to unmetered customers issued to the discos by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, an agency of the government, it was established that the power distributors raked over 105 billion naira as a result of overbilling. Figures computed by newsmen indicated that Yola Disco overbilled about 42,902 customers to the tune of 541.9 million naira during the period under review, while Abuja Discos overbilled 1,823,218 customers by 17.9 billion naira. Benin Discos overbilled 754,849 customers, underestimated billing by 10.5 billion. Enugu Discos overbilled a total of 1,011,402 customers to the tune of 11.9 billion during the 9-month review. And the list goes on. You have Eco Discos, you also have Ibadan Discos, you have Just Discos, Ikeja Discos, Kaduna Discos as well. Kano Discos, Port Harcourt Discos have also overbilled their customers, and it was reported that the power sector regulator declared that it would deduct about 10.5 billion naira from the annual allowed revenue from these 11 power distribution companies during the next tariff review as part of the sanctions over their non-compliance with the capping of estimated bills for unmetered customers.
It's a good one. It's necessary. I was part of the people overbilled last year. I remember I complained about it on this platform that I was overbilled. So let them remove that money from, because at the end of the day, most of these discos have a capping and they've exceeded their cap. But quickly, let's touch on this before we go on a break, and let's talk about, the sad exit of, Wigwe. Of course, so over the weekend, Nigerians actually took out time to mourn, the boss of Access Holdings, and also NGX Group also mourn the loss of their former chairman Ogubanjo, who was also